Cal Raleigh season stats. He's second in home runs. He's tied for 6th in extra base hits. He's 4th in slugging. He's tied for 5th in OPS. And at-bats per home runs, no one is better than Cal Raleigh. But you already knew that, right? What we want to tell you about, since Rowland-Smith calls so many Mariners games, is what Cal Raleigh's doing behind the plate, how he's calling games, his defense. Ryan, take it away.
Yeah, well, first of all, we do have to recap some of the offense we're seeing because I'm not going to lie. First of all, Cal was coming off literally at the beginning of the season. He signs that extension, 6-year, $105 million deal, which was a no-brainer if you're on the Mariners side for sure. But it's so good for not just him, but for his teammates. We're going to get to that in just a second. But look, offensively, we were talking about him breaking some Mariner records. Now all of a sudden we're talking about putting him in a class of some of the best catchers in the game. The power numbers jump off the page. You know that. He's doing it from both sides of the play. Hit 2 last night. What about the on-base, too? Some of the at-bats, Kevin Seitzer talks about he has never seen someone have that many quality at-bats. So the on-base percentage is there. The swing and miss is still there a little bit. Now, look at this.
Stealing strikes. Look at that pitch framing.
This is where the value gets, in my opinion, right up there with the game's best. Doesn't matter what position. The pitch frame. Look at some of these pitches he's stealing. Now, the other part of this is, too, when you watch, this is Logan Evans. This is in his debut. 5th inning. He's starting to scuff a little bit. He starts shaking him off. Now, Cal's not the kind of guy to be like, look, you can't shake me off. But he just knows when to go out there. Ben Williamson makes an error. George Kirby, first start of the year. He knows George is going to get frustrated. He's right out there to the mound. I was paying attention to this, just settling his guys down. That's where some of the value comes behind the plate. He talked about this earlier on in the day. He's the catcher first. The defensive numbers for Cal Raleigh, I don't know. I mean, have we ever seen I'm talking historically, when you're talking the offense, to go along with what he does behind the plate? I mean, it's pretty rare.
That's pretty shocking, those stats. Look at defensive runs saved, the innings caught. It's not like he's just popping up there and he's DHing. He's there day in, day out, and he's stealing, and he's throwing guys out, too. It's amazing.
Listen, it's hard to find these dudes. And when you get them, you do what the Mariners did. You gave them an extension, make them happy. I think everybody in the clubhouse, when the doors open, he walks through. It's like, okay, we got a shot to win a game today, and that's what you want, right? And, him stealing the pitches, as a hitter, I'm like, man, hold on.
ABS is what you're saying.
ABS is, when it comes, I don't know what he's going to do. But when you have that ability, I mean, it just seems like the game comes really easy to him. You see him a lot, but it seems like the game comes easy. He can do things, that's gonna give his guys a chance of believing themselves. And I think that's the most important thing for a catcher, is to make sure that guy on the mound is thinking less and going out there and doing this thing. So, hats off to the Mariners for finding that guy. Yeah, for sure. And look, again, I showed Logan Evans starting to shake. And it wasn't something that, look, he knew, but he was starting to second guess. And you know how it goes. When you're starting to second guess what pitch, when you're on the ropes and your guy comes out and it's Cal Raleigh and, he's been there for a while. That's your first day in the big leagues. And he just says the right things. And then the Ben Williamson didn't make an error, but he couldn't turn that double play. He knew George Kirby was a little non-verbal in not such a good way. Straight out there, man. That's the value aspect for Cal Raleigh beyond the offense.